Last year I got the HTC Vive, and one of the early games I got my hands on that totally blew me away was Raw Data. It's developed by Survios. This is Mike McTyre, who is the design director at Survios. Congratulations on Raw Data.
Thank you very
and
much.
And everything that's been happening to your company, because I know that the success of Raw Data led to new funding and financing for you guys to grow and develop more of this game, but also new games, and expand your studio. But let's talk about Raw Data here for a second, because not the entire world doesn't know about this game yet. I think everybody in the VR world probably does.
Probably at this point.
But what happened with this game? What you saw an opening and a sort of an experience that needed to be made.
Yes.
And you went after it. But tell us, about the conception of this thing and getting it out to market.
Sure. I mean, for us, it was really delivering on what we believed was the promise of VR.
Yeah.
There are a lot of great VR products out there, different demos, different experiences and such. But for us, it was really embodying the full body, very active VR. This is what it meant to us. Is we like some of the couch games that says we want people to get up, we want the controllers in your hand, we wanted you to be active. And then when the team first started developing, right? Okay, we got some guns, we got some powers and such. But the big push was, this is fun, but I can go to a shooting range in real life. What can't I do in real life that I can do in VR?
Yeah.
And that's where the team came to the conclusion, we want to be a hero, right? It was just obvious, right? You want to be that superhero. Whether it's from your favorite action movie or sci-fi movie or from the Avengers or whatever it is, you want to embody that hero. So that's when we started giving the characters these incredible powers that you just can't do in real life, whether you're jumping up into the air or shooting incredible weapons out of your hands, using telekinetic powers, throwing your swords. That was really living the dream, right? It's for the first time ever really feeling like you're not playing the hero, you are the hero. That was the dream.
Now, were you working in concert with Valve and with HTC, and you sort of got early hands-on with what the the magic wands were going to be able to do and provide for the game design, like early in the process?
Well, we had hardware, of course, before the hardware was released to the world and such, and definitely Valve, HTC are some of our great partners. We really like working with them. They've been super supportive. It's been a great relationship, and they've definitely got to see early versions of the build, provide us feedback. We had a lot of discussions going back and forth. I mean, there's a lot of things that I would say are established now in VR that you're saying, oh yeah, this is how you do this, is how you don't do this. Yeah. But that wasn't true a year ago, right? That wasn't true before the hardware was released. So there was a lot of speculation going back and forth, and a lot of and Survios really pushing for, this is what we believe in, right? So yeah, that was a back and forth.
Well, people that are in get why this game is good and why it's successful, but obviously VR can reach more people. I think Sony has gone on record saying they're surprised by how much sort of fervor there has been for PSVR.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a great product. It's very accessible. It's right connected to your TV. Oculus and Vive are a little more complex. They require a little bit more setup and a little bit more finesse, but they give you a better fidelity. But in your estimation, what does VR have to do now? How is it going to keep growing, and how is it going to, kind of cross some thresholds to get more people engaged and playing?
Sure. Well, there's really two avenues to that, right? There, of course, is the obvious avenue of more hardware, right? Or the next generation of hardware, or continuing to evolve the hardware we have, right? We already see wireless adapters being released or coming soon. We already see ways that people are going to increase the resolution. So to me, that's just inevitable. That's a given, right? I mean, I don't know when it's going to occur. I don't know who it's going to come from first, but the hardware is just going to get better, faster, cheaper, a better experience. On the other side, I think one of the big things to look out for in 2017, 2018 in particular is content. That's the big thing, right? Is we really focused on making a premium content with Raw Data, and some of our other products coming out that we're excited about are premium content. We really like to see more or other developers creating more premium content. We really think that's what's really going to push it forward, right? It's one thing when you have a platform, you say, hey, here's this amazing game on it, but then you say, hey, here's this platform and here's 15 amazing games on it. Well, I got to buy it now, right? Yeah. So we're really excited to see what other developers are doing as well, and the more amazing games that come out, that's just better for everybody who's making VR right now.
Okay, very cool. Motion in VR is still something that is not for everybody.
Not yet.
And we just came off of, I think, the successful launch of Resident Evil 7 with the VR mode in there, which is quite phenomenal.
Yes,
and you can play it with full motion, or you can play it sort of choppy motion. You were talking to me a little bit about why we aren't playing something like Raw Data, where you're able to just run through the environment. You have to teleport to your areas.
Right.
Is that something that you guys could build up to, being able to run through the world, or is teleportation in like a first-person shooter kind of where VR has got to kind of sit for us right now?
No, I definitely don't think that's where we're at. I mean, we made the conscious choice very early with raw data to specifically have teleshifting in the build, because for us, nausea is not acceptable. I mean, there are people that can play Resident Evil or other products, you know, and there are some people that doesn't bother them at all, but we're finding it's really about half and half, right? And to us, half the people not being able to enjoy the experience is not an acceptable number, right? We need it to be 98, 100%, right, of people who can enjoy it. So we made that choice to not focus on locomotion and raw data. We wanted to focus on you feeling like you're the hero, that you're the superstar, right? That was our big focus on that product. But as you saw on the other side, with one of our new products, Sprint Vector, the focus of that project was to solve locomotion. So, you know, very excited for people to check it out, test out the new control scheme. I mean, people can inherently build a tolerance, you know, a tolerance to nausea or to this, but it's no different than like being on a boat, right? People have that phrase, your sea legs. That phrase exists for a reason, right? The more you're on ships, the people can become more and more tolerant to it. That's also true for VR, we found. But for Survios, that's not okay, right? It's not okay to say, well, keep playing this game for 5 months and then you're going to be really good at it and it won't bother you at all. That's not acceptable, right? It has to be perfect from the get-go. But that's one of the things we're also really excited about, like I said, with Sprint Vector. We have a brand new fluid locomotion system that we're really excited about, that we truly believe is going to break some boundaries. We believe it's a game changer for VR, right? It's going to really open up the bounds, not just for Survios and for Sprint Vector, but for so many other products that this really unveils that people could use similar systems.
Is that something that you could maybe put into raw data down the road, is being able to run through? I mean, you know, describe this game, like what is raw data for people that aren't playing, and tell me if, you know, if future revisions or future modifications would allow for, you know, the full-on FPS kind of experience that we are all familiar with.
Sure. Yeah. Well, we're still working on raw data, of course. So, you know, so our users will be familiar. We released early access last year, and we're still in early access and heading towards version 1. We're getting close. And for us, version 1 is delivering on our promise to our consumers, right? We told them from the beginning, we didn't have to, but we did. We said, hey, raw data is going to have all this content. This is what we're building, and we're still delivering on that. Plus, we've added a whole bunch more content that we never anticipated, because we have a lot more people working on the project than we ever did in the past, because it's been performing well. So we're really excited about that. But raw data from the beginning was, we know we're going to have this many missions, right? It's going to have, this is the story we're going to tell, start to finish. Here are the heroes we're going to build, the powers, right? We really had it all kind of specced out. And that being said, in terms of what we'd like to add more to it, we already have added a lot more to it. We'd like to add more to it. There's a few other secrets and surprises that aren't on that list that I'm not ready to tell you about yet. So users are going to be very excited. They're going to get more than what we actually promised at the beginning. So that's coming up very soon. That being said, we have discussed putting the Sprint Vector locomotion or other locomotions into raw data, specifically finding a version that users enjoy. Again, nausea is not an acceptable option to us. So we are definitely talking about it.
So for the people that don't know what raw data is at all,
sure.
What's your elevator pitch?
Well, so raw data is set in the future, futuristic sci-fi. It's basically, you are an action hero. You're part of the syndicate operative breaking into this evil corporation who has armies and armies of killer robots and drones trying to stop you from discovering the secrets of Eden Corp.
Very cool. And it's freaky as hell, and it feels like you're inside of a Tronified Terminator movie. And I love playing this game, and I'm so excited to meet you guys, and continued success at Survios.
Great, thank you so much.
Make the meat